I was sitting at my own birthday dinner when I saw it. My phone lit up on the table with a notification, and when I glanced down, I saw a text preview from my sister Emma. "Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Just left her place. She has no idea." My boyfriend Jake's phone was face down next to his plate. My sister was texting him, calling him baby. And I knew in that one horrible second that her place was my apartment. The apartment where I'd been getting ready for my birthday celebration while they were probably tangled up in my bed. My hands started shaking so badly I had to grip the table. Everyone was singing happy birthday, and I was sitting there realizing the two people I loved most in the world had been destroying me for months. I'm going to tell you exactly how I found out the full truth. And trust me, what I did next, some people said I went too far. But by the end of this, you'll understand why I regret nothing. 2 years ago, I thought I had it all figured out. I was 28, living in Seattle, working as a graphic designer for a tech startup. I'd been with Jake for almost 3 years. He was my college sweetheart. We'd broken up after graduation, then found our way back to each other at a mutual friend's wedding. It felt like fate. He was kind, funny, ambitious. He made me feel safe. We just started talking about moving in together officially, maybe getting engaged. And Emma? She was my little sister, 2 years younger than me. We'd always been close. After our mom died when I was 23, we became even closer. It was just the two of us and Dad. She'd moved to Seattle a year earlier to be near me after a bad breakup back in our hometown. I helped her find an apartment, introduced her to my friends, got her a job interview at a company my friend worked for. She called me her best friend. I called her my person. Jake and Emma got along great, which made me so happy. The three of us would grab brunch together, go hiking, have movie nights at my place. I loved that my boyfriend and my sister were friends. I thought it meant I was building the perfect life. All the people I loved loving each other? I was so stupid. Looking back now, the signs were everywhere. 3 months before my birthday, Jake started working late more often. He'd come over smelling like perfume. When I asked, he said a coworker had hugged him goodbye. Emma started canceling our weekly sister dinners, always with some excuse about work or being tired. They both got weirdly protective of their phones. But I trusted them. Why wouldn't I? These were the two people who were supposed to love me most in the world. The week before my birthday, I threw Emma a surprise party for landing a promotion. Jake couldn't make it, said he had a work thing. I remember Emma seemed distracted the whole night, checking her phone constantly. At one point, I saw her smile at a text, and I asked who it was. She said, "Just a guy I've been talking to, nothing serious." I was excited for her. I literally hugged her and said I hoped he treated her well. He was my boyfriend. The guy was my boyfriend. But that wasn't even the worst part. That night at my birthday dinner, I excused myself to the bathroom after reading that text. I locked myself in a stall and just sat there, staring at my phone, trying to breathe. I wanted to be wrong. I needed to be wrong. So I did something I'd never done before. I logged into Jake's iCloud account. I knew his password because we'd talked about being open with each other. "No secrets," he'd said once. What a joke. I found a shared photo album. It was labeled E, just the letter E. And when I opened it, my entire world shattered into 1,000 pieces. Photos of them together. Kissing, in bed, at restaurants I'd never been to. On a weekend trip to Portland, the same weekend Jake told me he was visiting his brother. There was a selfie of Emma wearing Jake's college hoodie, the one I'd borrowed 100 times. There were screenshots of their text conversations, months and months of messages. "I love you. I can't wait until we don't have to hide anymore. She's being so clingy lately, it's exhausting." I sat on that bathroom floor for 20 minutes, scrolling through evidence of a betrayal so complete it felt like my heart was being ripped out of my chest with every swipe. They'd been together for 6 months, half a year. There were photos from my own apartment. They'd been sleeping together in my bed while I was at work. In one message, Emma wrote, "Do you think you'll actually leave her?" And Jake responded, "I will. I just need to find the right time. I do love her, but what we have is different. You're my soulmate." I threw up. Right there in the restaurant bathroom, I threw up until there was nothing left. When I finally came out, I sat back down at the table. Everyone was laughing, eating dessert, completely oblivious. Jake put his hand on my leg and asked if I was okay. Emma was smiling at me from across the table, and I looked at both of them and realized I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to scream. I was going to make them pay. I made it through the rest of dinner. I smiled. I thanked everyone for coming. I kissed Jake goodnight and told him I loved him. I hugged Emma and confirmed our lunch plans for that Sunday. They had no idea I knew, and I wanted to keep it that way. Because what I did next, most people told me I'd gone too far. I spent the next 3 days planning. I didn't confront them. I didn't cry. I got mean. I got strategic. And I got even. First, I called Jake's boss. See, Jake worked finance, and his company had a strict policy about workplace relationships. You had to disclose them to HR. Turns out, Emma's promotion came right after she started sleeping with Jake, who sat on the hiring committee for her department. I sent HR an anonymous email with screenshots of their messages discussing how Jake had pushed her application through. Then I called Emma's landlord, our dad's old college roommate who'd given her a discount on rent as a favor to family. I told him Emma had been subletting the apartment on Airbnb without permission. Was that true? No. Did I also tell him I'd seen evidence of it and was worried about liability? Yes. He started eviction proceedings the next day. Then I planned the finale. I invited both of them to Sunday brunch at my place, separately. I told Jake it was just us, that I wanted a romantic morning. I told Emma I needed sister time to talk about something important. I made sure they'd arrive at the exact same time. Sunday morning, I set the table for 3. I printed out my favorite photos of them together from the shared album and framed them. I made pancakes. I got dressed in my best outfit, did my makeup, and waited. The doorbell rang at 10 a.m. I opened it, and there they were, standing on my doorstep together, both looking confused to see the other. "Come in," I said, smiling. "I've been expecting both of you." I watched the color drain from their faces as they walked in and saw the photos on the table. Jake started stammering immediately. Emma started crying. I just sat down and poured myself coffee. 6 months, I said calmly. "You two have been screwing each other for 6 months. In my bed, at my birthday dinner, while planning my future with you, Jake, while crying to me about being lonely, Emma." Jake tried to apologize. Emma tried to explain. I held up my hand and cut them both off. "Jake, you're going to find out tomorrow that HR is investigating you for ethics violations. Emma, your landlord is evicting you, and both of you are going to walk out of my life right now, knowing that everyone we know, every single mutual friend, our entire family, your coworkers, is going to know exactly what you did. I've already sent the screenshots to everyone who matters." Emma's face went white. "You didn't. I did. This morning, check your phones." The fallout was nuclear. Jake was suspended from work pending investigation and eventually forced to resign. Emma had to move back to our hometown in disgrace. Our dad wouldn't speak to her for months. Their relationship imploded within weeks under the weight of everyone's judgment. Turns out a relationship built on betrayal doesn't survive well in the daylight. Me? I got a therapist. I let myself fall apart for a while. I cried. I raged. I grieved the sister I thought I had and the future I thought I was building. But I also held my head high, because everyone knew the truth. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the fool. I was the woman who refused to be destroyed quietly. A year later, I'm doing better than I ever thought possible. I'm dating someone new, someone who's earned my trust slowly and carefully. I'm in a new apartment with no ghosts, and Emma? She sends me emails sometimes, begging for forgiveness. I delete them without reading. Some people think I was too harsh, that I should have just walked away. But here's what I learned. When someone betrays you that deeply, you don't owe them your silence. You don't owe them a soft exit. They made their choices, and they can live with the consequences. If you're watching this because someone you trusted shattered your heart, I see you. You will survive this. And someday you'll realize you didn't just survive. You won. If this story resonated with you, subscribe. I share a new story every single week. And drop a comment below if you've ever been betrayed by someone you completely trusted. You are not alone, and you will get through this.